All right, we've got a no heat call. Something about a flue pipe that was bubbling water and the customer cut a hole in it or something. So let's go in here and investigate what's going on. I think I better take a flashlight for this one. We'll see what we got. All right, back here in this crawl space. That looks like a radon thing because I thought I saw and heard it. Okay. There we go. Look in here and see what we've got. All right. So that's the 2-inch going out, and it is really long. It is way down here. Into the furnace there. What in the world that is? That looked like a homeowner modification. Raising that up. So pipe is warm, so the heat is definitely on in it. I don't know who did this. I'd say the homeowner's been doing some self-taught modifications. You can see how it's. Let's see what we can do here. Looks like he's cut all the hangers and retied them. Tried to raise the pipe up for whatever reason. But I think that has done the opposite of what we're... I don't know if he thought the water needed to run out the end or what, but... see if we can fix it. Okay, it took me a minute to follow this from out here where the furnace is, and I found this little hole here. Go up under the porch where there was no access. And what I find is the pipe's been cut and then taped back up. And it doesn't actually exit, it just sticks up into that foundation vent. So I am not okay with that. And this is obviously homeowner modification. You can tell that by the hardware store gray DUCK duct tape. Let's get this figured out here. Hang on, let me get both hands on it. All right, so I'll cut this mess off, and I'm gonna go cut myself a hole there. Could go that way, but I think they would probably rather have it out of sight over there in the corner above the units. But so I'm gonna get a couple of elbows and pipe that out. And yeah, I don't know what happened down here, but we're gonna straighten this out. Okay, so I decided to take a couple of 45s and go out the end out here. So I'm gonna go out there and shave that off to the length I want. When I looked at coming out this way, straight, 90 in that way, for one thing, it added two 90s, and two 45s is of course better than two 90s, but there was two overhangs. It was kind of up in a corner. I just didn't like it out that way, so I went straight out the end of the porch. And people are going to have to go along with that. And it looks like we're slightly slanted down with a little bit of fall going in. So I'm going to go follow the pipe from there where it penetrates the wall back to that first 90 going at the furnace to where it's hard to see the fall on it. I'm going to take my measuring tape from the floor joist. I know that's not perfect, but it's something to go by that's fairly level. And we're going to make sure we got fall all the way back. And if I'm not satisfied with it, I'll bring one of the installers or two and come down here and lower that furnace probably a half a block. We'll probably take out a solid 8-inch block, or take out a 8-inch block and put in a solid 4. But let's see what we get. Okay, so I'm out here. Right there's where it goes through into that little porch area, and I'm going to measure from the bottom of the floor. Now out here, we're right over 10 inches, about 10, almost 10 1/4, maybe 10 1/8. So I'm going to just go down the line here before I change these hangers out and put better ones. And it looks like that one went up a little bit. So let's keep going and see how much we have to work with here. Okay, looks like we're okay there. Got a little bit of a rise right there at that one, but let's see how much total all the way that we have to play with. Oops, we're on a coupling there. Looks like we're still all right. We're dropping. Let's go down here to this next hanger, or right past it. We're almost down to 11, so we are dropping. Let's go here to this. Right past this first elbow is almost at 12. I need some more tape pulled out. Gotta get straight. I'd say we're okay. I mean, I can visually see that drop from that elbow to there and over to the furnace. So we're rising all the way out to the end. Not a lot. I mean, that's a good 20, 22, 3, 4 feet there. And So right here is where we have one little bit of a high spot. So I'm going to adjust that and then measure all the way down, and then I'm going to change these hangers out to metal plumbing strap, kind of like that. So they'll stay. So let's see what we got. All right, this is what we're going to leave outside. I'm going to have a installer come by and take a piece of sheet metal and block that whole vent off, and at that point we'll paint the sheet metal and the pipe black, just to kind of try to go along with everything else here. And we're going to leave this like it is. Had the helicopter helping me underneath a little bit. I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, so just to hold it closed until one of my guys can get by here with a piece of sheet metal and make this look better, I went ahead and stuck a couple of screws in this to where the vent will at least stay closed. But he'll make a tight ring here, a tight hole, and seal that up with some silicone, and then paint this pipe and paint the sheet metal black, kind of a flat black primer type paint we use on that. It'll look a lot better, but at least now the water will be controlled. The homeowner was thinking the water needed to go out, and he said that's what he wanted, was, you know, the water to drain out the end of the pipe and not back down into the furnace. So obviously he didn't understand, you know, the exact design of the system. So, you know, that was a little bit of a conversation to explain that and get it, you know, working to where it'll, you know, to where it'll be dependable and the way it's supposed to be. But I'm going to leave that alone for a few days and not come back with the sheet metal till I make sure we don't hear from it again, because in the event that those close tolerances, you know, come back to bite us, we'll just come back with 2, 3, 4-inch solid blocks and take one 8-inch block out, and that'll lower the furnace 4 inches. And I looked at everything. We can adjust a couple of straps and make that happen, you know, ductwork wise, and be simple enough. And at that point we would gain 4 more inches of fall to work with. You know, I could add a T somewhere and then run a drip leg out of the bottom of the T over into the pipe. I just don't really like that. I could do that, but we're going to go ahead and work the way we're working forward here. And so if we have to go back, we'll make a follow-up video. But I think we're okay for now. Thanks for watching.